Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now we are in the month of November and you know what it means? 11/11. So the 11/11 sales on AliExpress is almost here, and if you shop on AliExpress platform, you know what that means, right? You have big discounts, coupon stacking, and a lot of course, watch temptation. So for me personally, I've been adding a lot of watches in my shopping cart. You know, those Chinese watches that I have my eyes on. And today I'm going to show you which ones I'm waiting for, which one caught my eyes, why I pick each one, and which I think might end up being one of the best deal for this year's 11/11 sale. So do stick around because one of these might actually surprise you. So before we start, I'm just gonna give you my 11/11 sales game plan. So this is sort of like a guidance of my personal rule of thumb before I purchase any watches on AliExpress platform. Here's how I would approach 11/11 sale. First up, I will add those items to the cart early so that when the sale hits, I can compare the discounted price versus the so-called regular prices. Because as you know, in AliExpress, the sellers tend to mark up those prices, and then during the sales, they will give you discounted prices, but actually the prices are the same as the normal prices that happen as well, unfortunately, in AliExpress. Secondly, I will look for store coupons and AliExpress vouchers, as well as using your AliExpress apps to check out any mobile apps only deals. Thirdly, I will check for the seller's rating, the shipping and return policy, reviews, all those things, just to cover all my bases. So basically what I will do is I will just keep an eye on the price history of that particular watches, because some sellers, like I mentioned earlier, might inflate the regular prices just before the sale. So don't assume the listed discount is always real. Now let's go through 5 of the watches I currently have in my cart, grouped by the type and purpose of those watches. First up, I have a category called the Daily Wear and Versatile Picks. Now in this list, there are 2 watches. The first one is from the brand called Ton, and the model number is T002. Now this is a more elegant dress style quartz watch from the Chinese brand Ton. The specs include a 36mm dial diameter or 40mm including the crown. And what is unique is the pillow-shaped stainless steel case, the sapphire double dome glass screw down crown, 100 meters of water resistant, and the classic look, of course, of that particular watch. I think that when you wear this watch, it gives you a very vintage vibe. So why do I pick this one? Because I wanted something a little more different than my current collection, something a little bit more refined, not just another diver or chronograph. This Ton T002 could be something that I could wear outside of my usual collecting mode. And what I like about it is the small size, especially it fits my small wrist. Good finishing, especially for the price of about $65 US. Again, this watch, it might not appeal to everyone. To keep in mind that it is a quartz movement watch and it's very thin. Some of us who likes to have a huge watch or the wrist presence might not look into this particular one, but for me personally, it is something that I would love to have on my watch collection as well. Now, next one on the versatile pick is the brand called RollsTimi, which is the model RT7904. This is a very simple, a clean dress casual piece by the brand's RollsTimi, which is a sister company of Pagani Design. Now, what caught my attention is the clean and white colored dial, because it gives me a very simple and clean dial, just focus on the time itself. Now, the specs of this watch is 36mm dial width and also has 47mm lug to lug dimension. So it should be fine for my small wrist. It also features a 316L stainless steel case, a Japanese VH31 quartz sweeping movement, hard legs crystal glass, and a decent 50 meters of water resistant. Now, why do I find this watch particularly interesting is because it has ultra clean white dial, a very minimalist style, and I think that this is a watch that I could just put on my wrist to be my daily beater or my office piece. And it just tells the time, nothing else. And it's very simple for us to look at it and straight away get the information about the time that we need. So it is a good watch, and due to the small size, and also gives this vintage dress watch vibe. But that being said, after I do a little bit of research on this watch, some user report issues such as the crown pull up. Be careful when you purchase this watch. Do check out the quality and the review of the sellers. After all, this is a RollsTimi brand, and you can get this for the price of $23 US. So bear that in mind, 23 US dollars, so do expect some compromises. Now next up to a different category, which is the chronograph pieces. Even though personally I already have a lot of chronograph, but I just can't seem to get enough of chronograph watches. First up, we have the brand Addiesdive, which is the model number AD2095. Now, Addiesdive, for me personally, is a watch brand that gives a lot of value for the price that we pay for it. It goes the same for the AD2095. This is a 38mm chronograph with the Japanese VK64 quartz movement. It also features a stainless steel case, mineral glass, and also a water resistance of 100 meter. Now, why do I pick this particular watch? Okay, I love chronograph, and the size 38mm is compact for me. Chronograph watches that is listed in AliExpress usually focus on 40mm dial, and I find that to be rather big for my small wrist. So 38mm is the ideal size for my small wrist. And AD2095 is one of those chronograph watches. For the price of 57 US dollar, this particular watch looks pretty solid. It has very beautiful dial, especially the one with the beige dial and the blue sub dial. What I like about this particular watch is, of course, the dial design, which I think is rather attractive eye turner if you put it on your wrist. It has a good movement of VK64 movement, decent water resistant capability, and of course, a very versatile strap options. And the color is not something that you can find on a usual watch. So it's something that caught my eyes when I browsed through AliExpress. Whenever it caught my eye, it will go to the shopping cart. But if you remember what I said earlier, do keep in mind that the glass here is mineral glass rather than sapphire crystal. So it's more prone to scratches. Personally, it's not a big deal for me because I tend to take good care of my watches. A lot of my watches, which is from mineral crystal, I still find no scratches at all. And for this watch to offer such a price with the compromise of mineral glass, it is fine for me. A lot of reviews say this is a very stunning looking watch, so I myself find it to be very stunning as well. Next up, we have another Addiesdive, which is the Addiesdive AD2538. It features a slightly bigger case diameter, which is 39mm as compared to the AD2095. The Addiesdive AD2538 also features the same Japanese VK64 quartz movement, but it features the sapphire crystal glass with blue anti-reflective coating. It also features the same 100-liter water resistant. Now, from the look of it, those two watches seems pretty similar, but the Addiesdive AD2538 features this Panda dial look, which is something that I do not have in my collection yet. It features a similar chronograph functionality as the Addiesdive AD2095, but it is slightly larger and it has a sapphire crystal glass, which is an upgrade from the watch I mentioned earlier. So what I like about this watch is, of course, the Panda dial, sapphire crystal glass with the anti-reflective coating, chronograph function, all for the price of 52 US dollars. Now 38 or even 39mm dial diameter is fine for my small wrist, but some people might find it a bit small. Some people prefer something that is 40mm and above. If you are such a person, this watch might not be the one for you. As for the strap, it features the NATO strap, which is something that I don't really enjoy. If I were to purchase this watch, I might want to consider getting another leather strap or other type of strap to replace the original NATO strap. Now, last but not least in this list is the category which I term as a fun or experimental piece. And there's only one watch in this list which I've added to my shopping cart, which is the C-Night Monster SK01. Now, this one is a diver watch from the brand C-Night, or to be specific, the Monster V2 line. It features a 41.6mm dial diameter, a 13.6mm thickness, sapphire crystal glass, a rather impressive 200 meter of water resistance. All this for the price of 61 US dollar. Now, why do I pick this particular watch in my shopping cart? Because I wanted a fun diver watch with somewhat aggressive styling, something that I don't usually wear. But for the price of 61 US dollar, I just couldn't resist it. I think it is worth grabbing this particular watch at such a price, or even cheaper during the 11/11 AliExpress sales. What I like about this particular watch is the diverse specification of the watch, especially the very impressive water resistant sapphire crystal glass, the chunky style that stands out on your wrist, the very colorful and stunning looking dial. But then again, keep in mind that this is a rather thick watch. It has a thickness of about 13.6mm, which means it might be bulky, especially for someone with small wrist. It might be very thick on your wrist. And also do keep in mind that due to the aggressive styling of this particular watch, one might hesitate to put it and wear it big, especially for me. But that's only my personal opinion. But in the end, I also decided that I want to add this watch into my watch collection. So those 5 watches are all the watches that I've added in my shopping cart for the 11/11 sales. I believe the price that I mentioned earlier will only get cheaper during the actual sales, which is on the 11/11. So if you're shopping too, here are some of my quick takeaways. Add the items that you are interested into your cart early so that you can check the real discount when the actual sales actually starts. And then do ensure that you use the AliExpress mobile app, because there are certain coupons that are only available on the mobile app only, and do look up for specific store coupons and the platform voucher as well to stack up more discount on your purchase. Check out for the sellers rating, the reviews, especially the recent review and those with photos. Check out especially those brands that are sort of like very unknown, RollsTimi and CMAC perhaps. Do compare the pre-sale price versus the actual sales price. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, sometimes the price is raised before the sale just to make the discount seem bigger. Even though there are a lot of sales during this time, think about the shipping, the taxes, and the duties fees that we need to add on the existing pricing. Do consider the possible import fees and the shipping time as well. And don't overspend your money. Decide upfront how many pieces of watches will you buy during this sales period. What's your threshold? What's your limit? If you go wild, you might risk regret later on because you spend too much money on watches. So okay, that's the lineup. 5 watches currently in my AliExpress cart waiting for the 11/11 sales. I will pull the trigger when I feel the discount is right and the coupon stacking deal is good. And I'll definitely review each one when I decide to purchase and when they arrive to my doorstep. Now, if you're doing the same, drop me a comment below and tell me what watches you've got in your cart for 11/11 sales. Maybe I'll add some of them to mine as well for future video. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already yet, and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss any follow-up videos when those watches land to my doorstep. Thanks for watching and happy 11/11 shopping.